Alright. Doing a little stream today. Come on. Work, why don't you? Show off a little pet project I've been working on. Oh, how I wish this stupid thing would work properly. Come on. There we go. That's what I wanted. Good old spaz engineers. I would really, really love to be able to do this recording thing without having to worry about showing you all what's on my computer screen, but unfortunately, due to problems with my computer in of itself, I can't do that. Yeah, I'm pretty much running a broke down, barely functional computer, but it's functional and that's all I ever really needed. I actually designed it to be a gaming PC. This whole streaming thing was never part of the agenda. But I'm doing it, so gotta use what I got, even if what I've got is absolute garbage. Waiting for the things to load up the other things. Do 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 do. Alright, welcome to my little base. This is where I do most of my tank testing. I even built a little Orca gunship here. If you know anything about Command and Conquer, you'll recognize what this is supposed to be. It's not a very good version, but it is. This is not what I'm here to show you. What I'm here to show you is that. The P-1000 Rat. Space Engineers version. It is as colossal as it looks. For an example, that's a fully functional base. That's the Rat. Yeah. Just a short size comparison there. So, how does one get aboard the giant Rat? Well, certainly not through the wheel wells. Nope. I designed it to be accessible from the ground by climbing up these ladders. And if you want to get up to the top of the tank, you go up this ladder. This puts you in range of the Tiger turrets I installed. They're not the mouse turrets. And unfortunately, this may be the one place where you have to jetpack. Because unlike the rest of the tank, these are actually controlled by seats inside the turret.
Fuel critical.
Because I literally just stripped these straight off of one of my Tiger tanks and slapped them on here. Hence the reason why they still have the machine gun on them. Both the machine gun and the main cannon are controllable from within the turret itself. Then I've got my little AA guns, and I just fell off the tank. Whoops. Ahem. Let's not do that again. These are your typical ball turrets. I'm pretty sure people have seen a whole bunch of those by now. And there's even a way to get into the turret from outside by climbing up this secondary ladder. And yes, that giant massive thing up there is a fully functional turret. Okay, I forgot. Alright, what I actually need to do is F off. And yes, it does in fact rotate. Full 360, although it takes a while. And in case you were curious, they do work. They are 100% functional. I need to rotate this back into its resting position. Oop, oop, too far, too far. Okay. Because the turret is also fully accessible from within the tank. By going down these two ladders. Now, I was thinking of building this area to be the crew quarters, since it is just a large open space. Now, as for the rest of the tank, this is the main command module. And this is this gun. Now, it only goes up and down, because that's... I could have made it go left and right, but I decided not to. Then this controls one of the ball turrets. It really shouldn't. I need to fix that. Because this controls the exact same ball turret. And this one controls the opposite-sided one. Now, the downside is they can't aim any lower. They're designed for anti-aircraft. So, unfortunately, they can't shoot down. Because that's basically the limit of the hinge right there. Now, what I could set this up to do... Alright, where is it? Yeah. Okay, now this one controls both of the rear Tiger turrets from inside the tank. Pew pew! So you can have individual gunners, or just control either one from that seat. Not necessary, but it sounds cooler than it is. Now, this is one of the controllers, and as you can see, there are several large cargo containers inside this monster. And as for power, we have the battery room and a single large nuclear reactor, which leads back to the back of the tank and the exit door. This area is mostly just for loading and unloading the reactor, as well as the primary support stuff. You know, I don't know why I did that. Since I have to prove that it actually moves. Yes, the P-1000 Rat is, in fact, fully drivable. It does move, which is controlled from this seat. It is as slow as you would expect a giant, probably 10,000 ton abomination to be. But it does in fact move. It is fully drivable, and with a fairly minuscule crew, it is fully functional. I mean, basically, all you need is about, let's say, a crew of 8. A crew of 8 people could command this thing. I mean, that's still a lot for space engineers. That's like an entire team of players. So, for another comparison, I downloaded this from the workshop a while back ago. It's a small grid, large ship. Let's see, where are you? I need to delete those. And those. I got a lot of stuff in here. Ah, here it is. The UFS 110 Defender. I forgot to put the parking brake on, didn't I? Now, this one's been modified because I didn't have all the mods to make it work properly. But here is this colossal small grid vehicle next to the P-1000 Rat. And this vehicle is truly colossal. I mean, for a small grid vehicle, this thing is enormous. But this is a large grid vessel, whereas that's a small grid one. And if you wanted a more direct comparison to one of my other pet projects...
Fuel critical.
Here it is to an actual mouse. The mouse. The rat. So it's not like I don't have the mouse turrets to put on it. I could remove this and put the actual mouse turret on there. I'd have to scoot some things over. But it is doable. And this turret is pretty well armored except for the top, so don't want to get shot up there. Anyway, one of the reasons why I kind of have the command seat out here is because, in all reality, that's where the Tiger turret is. It's directly under the wheel well, so there's no real room to fit in the rest of the components to make it actually accessible from inside the tank. I could do it with a bit of creativity, but I just decided not to waste my time with it. And like I says, I had these tiger turrets already pre-removed, so I just kind of gutted them, rebuilt a bit of them, and then installed them because they were already available in there. But here's basically what the P1000 looks like from the front. And if you want to... And that was me dying to a tree. Now the only downside is the Rat does not have any revival equipment on it. Or for that matter, any auxiliary equipment. It's strictly a tank. It's strictly a big, angry tank. Since most of my tanks are designed fairly militaristically, they don't have all the fancy survival stuff on them. Yeah, just for the argument, let's pull out an anti-tank American Jeep. Now, let's give it a few shots. With your standard tank guns. And you can't even see a dent. Now let's see if I can find the block I actually shot. Ah, there it is. Yeah, a single hit from the standard tank cannon.
Fuel
These
low.
cannons, which will be used in virtually every tank available,
Fuel critical.
do a whopping 25% damage, meaning it would take 4 shots. 4 shots to this thing to take out a single block. Well, anyway, I can just delete this and repaste a new one. I don't have to fix it. I've got the blueprint saved. So yeah, you would have to have an entire arsenal of tanks in order to actually damage this thing's armor. Oop. And as for this,
Fuel critical.
that's what happens when you shoot a small grid vehicle with the same gun. This Jeep is effectively dead. Motor's still running though. I mean, theoretically the passenger could drive it now. As now it's just become a standard Jeep.
Fuel critical.
Yes, I did leave the seats back here just for the sake of leaving them there. Anyway, the Jeep's fully functional too. Boop. But that's what happens. So these cannons are probably the closest thing you'll get to being able to shoot something on the ground, which is the other reason why I put them up here. They have much better depression due to the fact that their hinge is sticking out. So they're more likely to be able to actually shoot something. Let's see. Let's bring out the M4 Sherman. If you watch my previous tank video, you will know that these are, in fact, tanks that I've already displayed, so it's not like I'm showing anything new. And in regards to the small grid turret,
Fuel critical.
the mantlet does work to deflect the rounds. And does quite a bit more damage to these half-grid blocks. But like I said, if you can just get around through there and hit that, it's basically all over for this thing. Where are you? There you are.
Fuel critical.
And this tank is effectively taken out. There is now no longer a gunner. I mean, it is fully possible that you could command the gun from, say, the driver's seat by just taking the main cannon controller. And voila. Now you once again have control of the cannon. It is fully possible to do so.
Fuel
So that's kind of where the unfortunate radio operator comes in. They've got the important job of basically taking over the tank if the commander gets shot. Since just about any seat can function as the command seat, as long as the controller's not destroyed. And if I remember right, the controller's hidden either in this back section here, or I may have hit it somewhere in the engine compartment. Yeah, right there. So you gotta shoot through a whole lot of tank in order to get to it. Or just one lucky shot from the side.
Fuel critical.
But yep, here it is, my colossal behemoth of a tank. A tank so big that only Space Engineers bridges can hold it. The P-1000 Rat. I may decide to put this up on the workshop so other people can look at it and be like, yep, I'm gonna blow this up. You know, speaking of which, I should have saved the other one. Let's give it a strafe. I have AWG's ammunition mod in here, or AWG's tank mod, which is why the Tiger II turret just recently exploded so violently. Now, missiles do a whole lot more damage to this thing. As you can clearly see, not only do they damage the armor, they deform it. Okay, let me rephrase that. They don't do more damage, they just do more visible damage. Oh well, since the back door's open, I'll just go through here. It's shorter. However, that's the main job of anti-air, is to keep things from keep that kind of thing from happening. I already have all these blueprints saved, so it's not like I'm really worried about it.
Fuel low.
And this is the kind of damage that those
Fuel critical.
anti-air guns can really do to a
Fuel critical.
unit or to an aircraft. Admittedly, they didn't do anything significant. They did disable one forward-facing engine and disabled the reloadability of these rocket launchers. Now, my Orca does have a medium cargo container right there that's reloadable through these two ports here. I designed it so it could actually park on the pad over there and actually reload like you would expect an Orca 2, which of course means I have to have these two things. I'm not happy with them, but I had no choice. I'll just delete that. That's the falls. Delete that. Boop. Pretty bouncy for a giant, colossal Doom tank. But yeah, this tank is actually bigger than this entire base, which contains a command center, a medical bay, crew quarters, and a motor pool. But this tank is bigger than all of them put together. Because here's how compact the base is, and here's how vast this is. Now, when I add the crew quarter functionality to it, I may go ahead and put in a medical bay or at least a survival kit, just for the sake of having it in there. But I wanted to show you all what Space Engineers was capable of doing, which is basically realizing completely impractical and impossible designs and actually making them look like they might have been a good idea. And that, my friends, is the P-1000 Rat. Have fun building, people!